Did you know there's a land nestled right in the heart of Asia? A place cradled between the magnificent Tianshan Mountains and the vast Taklamakan Desert? For thousands of years, its people have called it East Turkestan. Today, our maps label it Xinjiang, a name meaning new frontier, but its history is ancient and deep. This region was the very cradle of the Turkic peoples, stretching from the Altai Mountains all the way to the Pamirs. It's a land of sweeping plains, mysterious deserts, and legendary oasis towns like Kashgar, Hotan, and Turpan. Imagine this. Archaeologists have unearthed mummies in the Tarim Basin, so well preserved that their features and clothing tell tales of a sophisticated civilization that thrived here long before many others rose to prominence. This isn't just a new frontier. It's an ancient world waiting to be rediscovered. Long before the modern world, around the first millennium BC, powerful peoples like the Saka, Wusun, and Yuezhi roamed these lands. But everything changed with the arrival of the Gökturks. They weren't just another tribe, they forged a massive empire, uniting huge territories under a single banner. From the 6th to the 8th century, this region became the heart of the world. The steppes buzzed with activity, connecting China to Persia, India, and even the Byzantine Empire. This was the golden age of the Silk Road, the planet's very first global highway. After the Gökturks, a new power emerged, the Uyghur Kaghanate. They did something remarkable. They built cities like Beshbalik and Turpan, blending their nomadic heritage with settled life. They developed their own script, carved prayers into cliffs, and decorated temples with stunning art, creating one of the first great settled Turkic civilizations. Endless caravans trekking across fiery deserts by day and navigating treacherous frozen mountain passes by night. This was the reality of the ancient Silk Road. Along this legendary route, cities like Kashgar, Hotan, Turpan, and Kucha blossomed, becoming radiant jewels of trade and culture. Merchants didn't just exchange silk, jade, and fragrant spices. They shared something far more precious: ideas, art, and faith. In Turpan, vast libraries overflowed with scrolls preserving ancient wisdom. In Hotan, master craftsmen carved exquisite jade for distant kings. And under the vast, starry skies of Kashgar, scholars from all corners of the world debated philosophy. This land, known as East Turkestan, was a remarkable beacon of tolerance. Buddhism, Manichaeism, and Christianity flourished side by side, creating a vibrant tapestry of beliefs. It was a place where East and West truly met, not in conflict, but in a beautiful, creative harmony. Let's journey back to the 10th century, to the heart of Central Asia. A new power was rising, the Karakhanid Empire, founded by the visionary Satuk Bugra Khan. In a historic move, he embraced Islam, establishing the very first Muslim Turkic state in history. Their capital, Kashgar, wasn't just a seat of power. It blossomed into a dazzling center of learning and justice. It was here that Mahmud al-Kashgari created the first great dictionary of the Turkic world, a linguistic treasure. And from the same city came Yusuf Has Hajib's masterpiece Kutadgu Bilig, a guide to wise and just rule. Through this fusion of faith and scholarship, East Turkestan emerged as the vibrant heart of the Turk-Islamic civilization. In the 13th century, as Genghis Khan's armies swept across Central Asia, the Uyghurs made a strategic choice. Instead of fighting, they submitted peacefully and became vital administrators of the vast Mongol Empire. Their influence was so profound that their script was adopted by the Mongols, and later, the Manchus. After the Mongols, the region, then known as East Turkestan, flourished under the Chagatai Khanate. This was a golden age for Turkic culture. The Chagatai dialect thrived, giving birth to a new wave of beautiful literature from poets and mystics. But history is always in motion. Centuries later, a new power rose from the east, China's Qing dynasty. In 1759, Qing armies conquered the region. For the first time, East Turkestan was under Chinese rule. They gave it a new name, Xinjiang, which means new frontier. This wasn't a name of unity, but one of conquest, marking a new chapter in a long and complex history. Imagine living under constant oppression, with crushing taxes and forced rule. This was the reality that sparked endless uprisings. Then, in 1864, a beacon of hope emerged. A general named Yaqub Bey rose from the city of Kashgar. In just a few years, he liberated Hotan, Aksu, and Yarkent, establishing the Kashgar Emirate, an independent Turkic Muslim state. He opened embassies, minted his own coins, and even corresponded with the Ottoman Sultan in Istanbul, who recognized him as a legitimate ruler. For the first time in centuries, East Turkestan was free. But this newfound freedom was tragically brief. In 1877, overwhelming Qing armies returned. Yaqub Bey died mysteriously, possibly poisoned, and his state crumbled within months. A year later, China officially annexed the region, renaming it Xinjiang, the new frontier of the empire. This pivotal moment reshaped the destiny of a people and a land. When the Qing dynasty collapsed in 1911, it seemed like a new dawn for East Turkestan. But hope for freedom was short-lived, as the new Chinese Republic sent in harsh warlords to maintain control. By 1933, a spark of resistance ignited. Fueled by national and religious identity, leaders like Sabit Damullah and Muhammad Amin Bugra declared the first East Turkestan Republic in Kashgar. They dreamed of an independent nation, but it was a dream that would last just 1 year before being crushed by invading forces. Chinese forces, backed by the Soviet Union, invaded and destroyed the republic. A decade later, in 1944, another uprising in Gulja led to the Second East Turkestan Republic, this time with Soviet support. But the political landscape was shifting rapidly. When the Chinese Communists came to power in 1949, the republic's leaders were invited to Beijing for negotiations. Tragically, their plane crashed under mysterious circumstances, and they never made it. Soon after, the People's Liberation Army entered, and East Turkestan was annexed into the People's Republic of China. Did you know that in 1955, Beijing officially named the land the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region? But for the people living there, this promise of autonomy was just a word, not a reality. Under Mao Zedong's rule, the region was effectively sealed off from the rest of the world. Then came the Cultural Revolution, a period of immense turmoil from 1966 to 1976. The impact on the local culture was devastating. Thousands of mosques were either closed down or destroyed. Priceless Turkic books and copies of the Quran were burned. Religious scholars and community leaders faced imprisonment or worse. Entire communities were displaced and sent to labor camps deep within China's interior. Even traditional clothing and the local language were forbidden. It was a systematic effort to erase a unique identity. After the Mao era, China opened its doors. But for the Uyghurs in East Turkestan, this new chapter brought a different kind of change. A massive wave of Han Chinese settlers moved into the region, fundamentally altering its demographic landscape. Consider this. In 1950, Han Chinese were just 6% of the population. By the year 2000, they were nearly half. This shift wasn't just in numbers. Economic development often seemed to bypass the local Uyghur community, favoring the newcomers instead. Uyghurs increasingly faced discrimination, high unemployment, and ever-present surveillance. When they raised their voices in peaceful protest, their actions were frequently labeled as terrorism. A tragic example is the 1997 Gulja incident, where peaceful demonstrations ended with hundreds of lives lost. Imagine living in a world where your every move is watched. In the 21st century, a vast region has become a testing ground for surveillance technology. Cameras line every street, and facial recognition systems monitor who you are and what you do. Your phone isn't just a tool for communication, it's a tracker, logging your conversations and your location. For the Uyghur people and other ethnic groups in this region, this reality has become even more challenging. Since 2017, over 1 million Uyghurs have been detained in so-called re-education camps. Inside, they face immense pressure to abandon their native language, cultural traditions, and religious beliefs. Reports from various international organizations and media outlets have highlighted serious concerns, including accounts of forced labor, family separations, and measures aimed at reducing birth rates. Homes are shared with assigned Han Chinese relatives. Entire cities, once alive with culture, now stand silent. The call to prayer has been replaced by government slogans. This situation has been described by numerous human rights groups, scholars, and governments as a systematic effort to erase a unique cultural identity. It's a complex and deeply troubling issue unfolding today. In the ancient streets of Kashgar, where songs once filled the air, now only the sound of footsteps echoes. Mosques, once centers of community and faith, now stand empty, repurposed as silent museums. Everywhere you look, checkpoints and cameras stand as a constant reminder of control. But this is not the end of the story. Beyond the reach of surveillance, the spirit of a people not only survives but thrives. Across the world, Uyghurs in exile carry the flame of their culture. They keep their language, their prayers, and their precious memories alive, passing them down to the next generation. The story of East Turkestan isn't just one of oppression, it's a powerful testament to endurance. History teaches us that no empire lasts forever, and no regime can truly erase memory. As long as even a single voice dares to whisper the truth, the heart of East Turkestan continues to beat.